Please give me a couple of seconds here. To the chairman, members of the committee, my name is Roberta Duckhead Kittson Nyomo.
Can you spell that, please?
Roberta, Duckhead, Duckhead, Kittson, Kittson, Nyomo, Nyomo. I would like to show you a picture of my adopted parents. This is John and Irene Nyomo. This is me, and this is my brother Alan. These pictures were in our adoption files. This photo was taken in 1976, right after our adoption. This photo right here was the photo that was placed into the newspaper so people could see if they wanted to adopt a Native child. Yes. What's the definition for entitled? The adjective for it is believing to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. For the verb, give someone the legal right or a just claim to receive or do something. In 1973, my brother Alan and I, we were in foster care in Butte, Montana. Soon after, John and Irene Nyomo Jr. would take us to live with them in Plains, Montana. 3 years later, in 1976, it was the bicentennial for Montana. My brother, Alan, and I, we would be the last Native American children to be adopted in Thompson Falls. In 1978, I remember something major was going to happen. That night we had tater tot casserole. After dinner, Alan and I had to do the dishes. After they were done, we all sat down and watched the news. Muhammad Ali was going to be on, and he was our hero. We sat in our usual spots. Alan and I sat on the floor. Irene in her red chair. John sat in his orange chair. Suzanne sat on the couch. Next thing, it happened. It was breaking news. The broadcaster said, just in. The United States of America has passed the Indian Child Welfare Act. My brother and I, we stood up and we started laughing with joy and we were jumping with delight. Next thing you know, John and Irene got up the same time along with their daughter Suzanne, and they went to their rooms. John and Irene were arguing about ICWA. My brother and I walked down the hall and stood pretty close to their door. What was said has never left me. John said, how could they pass that Indian Child Welfare Act? Don't they know we, meaning white people, are entitled to Indian children? They can't even take care of their own children. That's when the door opened and we were told to go sit on our beds. We did that until bedtime. Years later, I asked John and Irene about what they said that night. They looked at each other and they told me to leave their home. I didn't talk to them for 2 years. Now, what happened to my brother.
Ma'am,
I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Later on in my life, I come to find out and realize that most of all my family was gone. There is only 4 of us left. I have lost my language, my traditions, my culture, but most of all, my identity. So my question for you is, are European Americans entitled to Indigenous children and young adults? The answer is no. Please pass House Bill 317.
Thank you.